Hello YouTube and other channels I'm on. Today we're going to, well, this is another episode of Meals in the Field. And today's menu is trench stew. During World War I, this was a kind of common dish that the troops used to do in the field. Now, this is the British version. Hang on, let me get my notes. I saw this on a YouTube channel. Let's see. Royal Navy and Royal Marines charity to celebrate Red, White, and Blue Day 2014. The link is in the description below. Anyways, the title of the video that I saw was World War I Cooking in the Trenches. And the British mess kit, and I will have some pictures of what the original or a reproduction of the British mess kit looked like. It was a pot and somewhat of a frying pan, and you, in the video that I'm referencing that you can go to, you can see what it looks like. Anyways, I'm not going to use the British version. I'm using a Swedish mess kit. Actually, a reproduction of the Swedish mess kit, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But the ingredients are corned beef, a carrot, potato, onion, hardtack, and HP sauce. Now, security guy and I were going back and forth whether it had a turnip. The video that I saw did not show the actor or the reenactor using a turnip, so I'm omitting it because I've never had a turnip before, so I don't know if I'm allergic to it. I don't know, so I'm leaving that out. I don't think turnips were part of the American diet since probably 1936 maybe, because turnips, it's a root vegetable. You put it in the ground, you grow it. It's about as simple to grow as potatoes and onions, or carrots even. The only oddball of the ingredients is the HP sauce. That's not very common in the States. You can find it in Canada and obviously in England, but elsewhere outside of those two countries, not going to really find it. Corned beef in a full grid down scenario, you're not going to find it pretty much, because it's the only place that's made for the most part is in Brazil. During World War I, the troops, the British troops, had corned beef. They would sometimes call it monkey meat. That's what they called it. And so forth, but the shape of the tins or cans pretty much hasn't changed since 1914. So let me put this aside, and I'll show you the mess kits I'm going to be dealing with. Hold on. As you see before you, I have an actual M44 Swedish mess kit. I've used this a couple of times, and it does pretty well. I like the design of the Swedish mess kit over the East German or the basically European style mess kit. I'm encompassing Russia, Germany, and there's a couple others. If you know what an East German mess kit looks like, that's what I'm referencing. Now, the one on the right is made by Pathfinder, Dave Canterbury's shop. Anyways, this is stainless steel, and it's based on the M40, which was stainless steel instead of aluminum. So anyways, I did the preliminary. I'm going to be using this for the cooking, just to try it out. So this one I know works. That one is brand new. So anyways, let me pop this open and I'll show you what's in this. There are other videos on how this the Swedish mess kit operates, so I'll have you go to those videos to check them out. Alright, the Swedish mess kit get this out of here. Okay. The Swedish mess kit, if it's complete, will have the pot, lid, stove, or excuse me, the pot holder. This is the actual alcohol stove, a spirit bottle. They use denatured alcohol. And the only thing missing from this kit is the little triangular cup. I've heard a lot of people saying it's difficult to drink with, so I leave it out. But I also put in a scratchy pad. I picked these up from Walmart years ago when they had them on sale. A pot remover, so I can grab that and take it off the stove. Actually, let me show you. Okay, very similar to the modern day Trangia alcohol stove. If you do, obviously they're all used. The rubber O-rings, you're going to have to find a replacement because they've had a habit of leaking. This I'll show you in a minute. Let me set that down. Bring that up. And it goes over like so. The hole is just big enough. Now, oops. Set that aside. Because finding the actual Swedish mess kits are getting harder and harder to find, this is why I brought this out. We're going to use a commercial, one that you can find online. Standard modern day Trangia alcohol stove. There's the simmer cap, and then you have your main lid. All right, so obviously set that there. Well, obviously lots of room to work with. So let me pause this. I will prep the vegetables. Oh, let me go back into a history lesson. Yes, security guy will definitely say, Ron, you're getting long-winded again. I know, but this is a history lesson. Oh, this is, I'll tell you this in a minute. The original mess kit by the British, obviously I mentioned that, was a D-shaped mess kit, but they also had their own stoves. This is not it. This is the Swiss M77 stove. Now, the original cooker, I'll show pictures once again, that the British used, they were called Tommy cookers. Okay, I'll show the Tommy cooker used a solid alcohol-based fuel. A lot of troops complained that it took forever to heat up just basic water, let alone the food, so they actually used campfires. I did not do the research on whether the Esbit cubes were available at the time or not, but there were, near the later tail end of the war, there were vast improvements. Okay, now the more modern version is the Swiss M77, which uses a sterno-like gel. Okay, it's an alcohol-based. Still, anybody who's worked with sterno, it takes forever for that thing to heat up. However, with alcohol, it's a good-sized flame. And I'll show you better pictures of this. So basically, say this is the Tommy cooker. Oh, come on, get off there. They had a standard lid. The Tommy cooker had a lid similar to how sterno is, and then they had a little brace like so to keep the pot, pan, or whatever off of the flame, but just look close enough to heat whatever you needed to heat. Sounds simple, right? Okay. I haven't used this yet, but I know premise of it. So anyways, if times get tough, you can't find a actual Trangia stove, what you can do is make what they call a penny hobo stove. You take a soda can, or actually two. There's diagrams on how to do this. You poke holes around here, poke some holes here, fill it up. Before you put these together, you get some fiberglass insulation and stick it in, kind of act as a wick, and then you light a flame, and son of a gun, it does work. Yeah, so if times get tough, you can use this. All right. Now for this is for cold weather environments, and it just goes onto that little ridge there. You put a little alcohol in there, and it warms up the alcohol that's in the main Trangia stove, and it'll warm it up so it will light up the rest of the stove and get up to temp a lot faster. That's what this is. This is for real cold environments. That's why I like using alcohol. And speaking of the alcohol used, bushcrafters that use alcohol stoves, if you're in the United States, this is the so far the best what to use. All right, so I think I covered everything I wanted to cover before we start cutting up things. Yeah, the Tommy cooker, portable stoves fueled by solidified alcohol. Yep. Okay. Or excuse me, not the M77, it was the M71 Swiss stove. So, there you go. Alrighty, so let me pause it right here. Let me cut up the veg, and we'll get started cooking. Alright, I skipped showing how to chop the veg because it's boring. Oh, one thing I didn't mention I'm going to add, if need be, is some bacon grease. So, let's get this lit up. It's cold, but not too cold. Ooh, all right, she's lit. And now we're going to open our tin of corned beef. That's the only thing, because I've seen so many people, especially young ones out there, that don't know how to open. Oh yeah, we're still lit. Oh, come on. Come on. It's been a while since I've opened these. There we go. And like in the video, the original video I'm referencing, we're going to use half of it. Ooh, there it is. Oh, and the knife I used, hang on one second. Security guy mentioned going to the dollar store picking up a paring knife. Oops, I'm out of frame. Here we go. Paring knife, but I use a Mora. Try and get a little of the fat on here. And of course, all the fat is further down in. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. it is not enough grease in the pan. So, shoot. We are going to add some bacon grease. I'm not using the turnip only because I don't know if I'm going to stomach the turnip. And anybody in the militia movement will have access to bacon grease. Okay? And we're starting to burn what little. Okay, let's add our potato. Where's our spoon? Sorry, my big head's in the way. Bring this down some a bit further in frame. There we go. Now, I kind of slice this stuff real thin. That way it cooks all the way through. You have to cook potato thoroughly because there's enzymes that are in potatoes that is not good for you. It's kind of toxic. So you really need to cook potatoes thoroughly. Let's get some more bacon grease in there, because fat is flavor. Next stop, Flavor Town. Got a jumper. Okay. Now in the video, the reenactor, the narrator, was talking about the kid had an hour before he's back on duty post. So I asked him, and at the end of the video he says that he has 20 minutes to enjoy his meal, so I'm estimating about 40 minutes cook time. But security guy got that under 30 minutes. Or just over. Under 30 minutes, including prep time. Okay, next let's add our carrots. Now everything in here is half. I mean, you guys saw the potato that I showed originally. There's our, oof. All right. Now let's add our onion. Now, carrots and onions can be eaten kind of raw. So if there is some crunch to the onion or to the carrot, no big deal. But the potatoes, it is very recommended that you cook those thoroughly. Okay. All right, now we're going to add some water. And of course the wind wants to pick up. Alright, now here's the hardtack that was crushed up. I'm looking to find a commercially available version of hardtack, but I made my own. Right now, learning how to make your own hardtack is going to be important. Now, security guy used crackers, okay? You can use those, but when things get fully, well, when things go south bad, we'll let that cook for a while. When things go south bad, you're not going to have access to commercially produced crackers. You're either going to make them yourself or you're going to use hardtack. Hardtack is a lot more stable because they don't crush up as easily as crackers. And the video that I'm referencing, they use, I think they called it dog biscuit. You can see for yourself. And this is more of the traditional way it was done. Granted, I'm using a lot more onion than what was used in the original video. And there was also no reference on whether there was salt or pepper used. Now the corned beef is very salty to begin with. As you can see, the potatoes and the crumbs from the hardtack are starting to thicken up. Let's try and move the camera a little bit so we can see all that goodness. There we go. And if you notice, I'm not adding the corned beef until last, because corned beef will kind of disintegrate, and you kind of want to have some texture to it other than corned beef mush. Yeah, I added way too much onion. It's about 39, maybe 40 degrees outside. Let's add some more water. That thing's cooking down quick. Now that's the thing about hardtack, you gotta cook it a while and let it to soak and soften up. That's the only downside about using hardtack with this, but this is what it was like back in World War I. See if that, okay, it's starting to soften up, that chunk of hardtack. Oh, ouch. All right, let me pause it here, let it cook some more, and we'll continue on in a little bit, all right? Alrighty, we are back. Now, if you notice these D-rings, these are for, because up, whoa, easy big whiskey. Let me see, yeah, we're still good. Because the handle's going to be hot, because of the stove cooker, whatever, you can use a stick to kind of help pull it off the fire. Okay. One of the pieces of potato is soft. Now we can add our corned beef. And since the corned beef is already cooked, all you really need to do is just warm it up. And you can see it's starting to fall apart. And yeah, that's a thick gravy. Okay, now is the time to add our HP sauce. I was told by one of my subscribers, Scrappy, that this stuff is pretty potent. And a buddy of mine tasted this. He says it's similar to Heinz 57 sauce. Alright, so it's just a dash to give it some taste and some flavor. Okay, is our fire out? Yep, our fire's out. All right. So we're gonna let this sit, cool down, and thicken up. So maybe just add a. Now we'll leave it. We'll add more to the stew as we go along. All right, let's let this cool down, and we'll pick it up in a moment. Alrighty, I got my own combat cameraman here with me. So, what do you think, homie?
Sounds good. Smells good.
Smells good?
Tastes good.
Now, let me give it a taste too. Oh yeah, potatoes are thoroughly cooked. Let's add some more of that HP sauce, because I went very sparingly. Come on. It's thick. Whoop. So, the most, that's probably, what, a half a teaspoon?
I'd say that's a teaspoon.
Teaspoon? So probably a teaspoon and a half in this canteen, or in this mess kit lid. I'm going to stir it around, get it incorporated. Yeah, as you can see, the corned beef is kind of turned to mush. Okay, let's try it again. A little too much of the HP?
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gives a little bit of a tang.
Yep. It has like a malt vinegar flavor, I think.
Kinda, yeah.
So anyways, there it is. Trench stew to the more traditional flavor. I will try doing it the way Security Guy 42 did it, and see how the A1 steak sauce pales with my American palate. Ow. Hardtack. Hardtack wasn't fully dissolved. So, anyways, there you go, folks.
Oh, have no doubt, this is way warm enough to eat, too. It's actually kind of hot, still sitting out here in this 30-degree weather.
Yeah. So, all right, folks, there it is, trench stew. Tagline. Folks, prepare like your lives depend on it, because they do, or it does. So there it is. Take care, everyone. Oh, and check out the R Syndicate. Links are all on the bottom. I'm starting to build other backup channels. So there you go. Take care, everyone, and God bless.